Once upon a time, in the heart of a dense and shady jungle, there lived a powerful and majestic lion whose roar was so loud and imposing that it echoed through the trees. This lion was known throughout the forest as the king of the jungle. As he walked, his sharp ears twitched at the sound of birds chirping and insects buzzing. The lion enjoyed the peaceful atmosphere and basked in the warm sunlight. He had just come from a successful hunt, and his stomach was full, so he had no need to chase after prey. For once, he could simply relax and appreciate the beauty of his surroundings.
Ho, ho, ho!
His roar could shake the ground and send shivers down the spine of even the bravest of animals. "Look," he said gently, "I'm not going to hurt you." The monkey opened its eyes and looked at the lion with gratitude. "Thank you," it whispered. "You're a true hero." The lion smiled and nodded. He was happy to have helped the monkey. And from that day forward, the two became friends. "Why don't you close your eyes and hang on to me? I'll take care of everything." He had always been friendly with these monkeys, and he couldn't understand why they were whispering about him in such a negative way.
Ho, ho, ho!
As he continued walking, he tried to shake off the incident, but he couldn't help but feel upset about the monkey's behavior. He had never thought of himself as lazy, and he certainly never thought his roar had grown weak. "I still have plenty of strength and energy." However, Tembo shook his head and said, but if Tembo was right, then he needed to find a way to make his roar mighty once again. Kaa was known for his wisdom and his ability to control the minds of others with his hypnotic stare. And the lion hoped that Kaa would be able to help him fix his weak roar.
Ho, ho, ho!
"That may be true, my friend, but your roar is the key to your power. If your roar is weak, then you are not truly the king of the jungle anymore. Your roar is indeed weak, but that is because you have forgotten the secrets of harnessing your inner power," Kaa finally said, breaking the silence. He spoke of the balance between predator and prey and the importance of respecting all living creatures. He also told the lion about the hidden sources of power that were scattered throughout the jungle, and how these sources could be used to increase the lion's strength and restore his mighty roar.
Ho, ho, ho!
If you wish to regain your lost power, you must first understand the source of your strength. A moment later, Keir emerged from the cave. His eyes were like glowing embers, and his scales shimmered in the sunlight. The monkeys were the first to hear the roar, and they climbed down from the trees to greet the lion. He used his power to protect the weak and maintain balance in the ecosystem. But from a combination of physical strength, mental acuity, and emotional intelligence.
Ho, ho, ho!
And although he never forgot the importance of strength and courage, he also learned the value of humility, respect, and the interconnectedness of all living things. They apologized for their behavior and promised to be loyal subjects of the king. "I have heard about your mighty roar, which has echoed through the jungle for many moons." He had become lazy and complacent, and he had forgotten the importance of his role as the king of the jungle. He traveled to the hidden sources of power one by one, facing challenges and overcoming obstacles along the way.
Ho, ho, ho!
He discovered that the sources of power were not just physical objects, but represented different aspects of the jungle, such as courage, wisdom, and respect. The sound was so loud and powerful that it echoed through the entire jungle, shaking the trees and sending birds flying into the air. The lion's roar was not just a display of strength, it was a declaration of his place in the natural order of things. The lion nodded proudly, but he quickly changed his tone and said he faced his fears and confronted challenges that tested his strength and resilience.
Ho, ho, ho!
Through these trials, he learned the importance of humility and respect for others. "I am ashamed to admit it, but my roar has become weak and ineffective. I am no longer the king of the jungle." The lion could already feel the hypnotic power of the great serpent. In fact, he had always been proud of his mighty roar, which could be heard throughout the entire jungle. And every time the lion saw the monkey,
Ho, ho, ho!
he remembered the day that he had saved the life of the little animal and proved that not all predators are heartless, and that sometimes even the most dangerous creatures can be kind and compassionate. At first, he couldn't understand what they were saying until he heard the words roar and lion. The monkeys were talking about the lion, and they weren't saying anything good. He pushed through the thick undergrowth and swam across raging rivers, all the while thinking about how he would regain his lost roar.
Ho, ho, ho!
Finally, he came across a clearing where a huge rock monolith stood tall and proud. And at the base of the monolith was a small cave where Kaya made his home. The monkey hesitated for a moment, but it was too scared to stay where it was. So it slowly closed its eyes and jumped into the lion's waiting paws. When the lion explained the situation to Tembo, the elephant listened patiently and then spoke in his deep, rumbling voice. "Oh, my friend, I'm afraid the monkeys are right. You have become too comfortable and lazy, and your roar has grown weak."
Ho, ho, ho!
They chattered and screamed as they swung from branch to branch, and their playful energy was contagious. The lion couldn't help but crack a smile, and he found himself relaxing even more. One day, as the sun climbed higher in the sky, the lion decided to take a stroll through his domain. At first, he thought that they might be hiding from a predator, or that they were simply playing a game of hide and seek. But as he walked past the tall trees, he heard a faint sound coming from above. As he continued his leisurely walk, the lion came across a clearing where a group of monkeys were playing.
Ho, ho, ho!
"Help me, please help me," it cried. The lion roared as loud as he could to try to calm the monkey down, but the noise only made the monkey more afraid. "Please don't eat me," the monkey pleaded. "I don't want to be eaten," the lion said kindly. "I won't hurt you. I just want to help." But the monkey didn't believe him. It had heard stories about lions who pretended to be friendly before eating their prey, and it thought that this lion was just being nice before making a move on it. But suddenly, the lion noticed something strange.
Ho, ho, ho!
A young monkey had become separated from the group and was now hanging upside down from a tree branch, swinging by its tail. The little monkey was scared, and the lion knew he had to do something to help. As the lion approached the tree, the monkey panicked and began to scream. "Please let me go," the monkey begged. "I promise I'll never get into trouble again." But the lion shook his head. He couldn't let the monkey stay in this dangerous position. If it fell, it would surely be hurt. So he had to convince the monkey to trust him. The lion took a deep breath and tried a different approach.
Ho, ho, ho!
As soon as the monkey was in his paws, the lion carefully climbed the tree and gently placed the monkey on a low-hanging branch. Every time the lion went for a walk in the forest, the monkey would chatter excitedly and swing from branch to greet him. One day, however, as the lion was taking his usual stroll through the jungle, he noticed that the monkeys were unusually quiet. As the lion looked up, he saw the monkeys gathered together in a tight circle and chattering frantically. The lion felt confused and hurt.
Ho, ho, ho!
He decided to visit one of his closest friends, an old and wise elephant named Tembo, to ask him for advice. The lion was taken aback. "But I don't feel any different," the lion protested. The lion was shocked. He had never thought of his roar as anything other than a source of pride and strength. Determined to regain his lost power, the lion decided to go on a journey to seek out the wisest animal in the jungle, the great horned serpent named Kaa, who lived deep in the heart of the forest. The journey was long and arduous, but the lion was determined to succeed.
Ho, ho, ho!
The lion approached the cave cautiously and called out, "Kaa, I come before you seeking your wisdom and help." "So you are the famous Leo," Kaa said in a voice that sounded like rustling leaves. Kaa stared into the lion's eyes, and the lion could feel his mind being probed and analyzed. With that, Kaa led the lion into his cave and began to tell him ancient stories about the origins of the jungle and the animals that lived there.
Ho, ho, ho!
As the lion listened to Kaa's stories, he began to realize that his journey was not just about regaining his roar, it was about rediscovering his purpose and his place in the natural order of things. With renewed determination, the lion thanked Kaa for his wisdom and set out on the path to reclaim his lost power. As he interacted with the animals and explored the different parts of the jungle, the lion began to feel his power growing. Finally, when the lion had restored all the sources of power and faced his greatest fears, he roared.
Ho, ho, ho!
News of the lion's return as the king of the jungle spread throughout the forest, and the animals rejoiced. From that day forward, the lion ruled the jungle with wisdom and compassion. And so the story of the lion serves as a reminder that true power comes not from brute force alone.
Ho, ho, ho!